My name is Alex Turner, and what I am about to recount is a tale that has haunted my every waking moment since that fateful day. It was a time when video arcades ruled the streets, and the allure of pixelated worlds held an irresistible charm. In the summer of '81, a new arcade game appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Its name was Polybius, a moniker that held an air of mystery and intrigue. Rumors swirled about its origins, whispers of government involvement and sinister experiments. As an avid gamer, I couldn't resist the allure of this enigmatic machine. It stood in the corner of the dimly lit arcade, its screen pulsating with hypnotic colors. The cabinet bore no markings, no indication of its creator or manufacturer. I inserted a coin and watched as the game sprung to life. The graphics were unlike anything I had ever seen, an explosion of vibrant hues and surreal landscapes. The gameplay was equally entrancing, a hypnotic dance of light and sound. As the days went by, I found myself drawn to Polybius like a moth to a flame. Each visit to the arcade became a pilgrimage, a quest to unravel the secrets that lay hidden within its digital realms. It was during one fateful session that I first noticed it, a subtle shift in the game's behavior. The colors seemed to bleed together, forming twisted patterns that danced on the screen. The once melodic soundtrack now held discordant notes, a cacophony of dissonance. A sense of unease settled over me, a gut feeling that something was terribly wrong. I tried to pull away, to tear my eyes from the screen, but it was as if I were ensnared in a web of malevolence. And then, it happened. A blinding flash of light engulfed the screen, searing into my vision. The world around me seemed to dissolve, replaced by a surreal void of swirling colors and indistinct shapes. I was trapped. In that disorienting void, I felt a presence, an entity that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. It emanated from the very heart of the game, a force that defied all rational explanation. As my senses slowly acclimated to this surreal realm, I began to discern forms amidst the chaos. Figures, indistinct and ethereal, moved in the periphery of my vision. They seemed to beckon, their movements a mesmerizing ballet of light and shadow. I tried to call out, to make sense of the incomprehensible, but my voice was swallowed by the cosmic void. It echoed back to me, distorted and hollow, as if mocking my feeble attempts to understand. Time lost all meaning in that twisted dimension. Minutes stretched into eternities, and yet, it felt as if mere moments had passed. It was a liminal space, a bridge between reality and something far more sinister. And then, a voice. It was a whisper, barely audible, yet it cut through the dissonance like a beacon in the night. It spoke in a language that I could not comprehend, a tongue that seemed to reverberate within the very core of my being. The figures drew closer, their forms coalescing into something resembling humanity. But their features were twisted, contorted into grotesque parodies of faces. It was as if they were trapped in a perpetual state of anguish, forever yearning for release. I tried to retreat, to escape this nightmarish tableau. But my movements were sluggish and uncoordinated. It was as if the very fabric of reality conspired against me, binding me to this malevolent realm. And then, as abruptly as it had begun, it ended. I awoke on the cold, hard floor of the arcade, drenched in sweat and gasping for breath. The familiar hum of the machines and the distant chatter of patrons filled the air, a stark contrast to the oppressive void I had just experienced. Polybius stood silent and unassuming, its screen a tableau of swirling colors once more. It was as if nothing had happened, as if the malevolence that lurked within had never revealed itself. The encounter with the twisted dimension within Polybius haunted my every waking moment. Reality seemed to blur at the edges, a lingering afterimage of the malevolent force that had ensnared me. I delved into research, scouring obscure forums and dusty archives for any mention of the accursed game. It seemed that Polybius was more than just a mere arcade cabinet. It was a legend shrouded in myth and terror, Whispers spoke of players who had vanished without a trace, their souls seemingly claimed by the abyss within the game. Others claimed to have witnessed nightmarish visions, their minds forever scarred by the experience. With trepidation, I returned to the arcade, determined to confront Polybius once more. It stood silent and unassuming, a siren's call to the curious and the foolhardy. As I inserted a coin and the screen flickered to life, a palpable sense of dread settled over me. The familiar graphics pulsed with an eerie glow, beckoning me to once again step into the abyss. The game seemed different this time. The colors were more vivid, the sounds more dissonant. It was as if Polybius itself had become aware of my presence, taunting me with its malevolent intent. I played with a sense of grim determination. Each movement a deliberate act of defiance against the darkness that lurked within. The figures in the game moved with an unnatural fluidity, their motions a grotesque parody of life. And then, it happened again, the blinding flash of light, the searing pain in my eyes, and the descent into that eldritch void. The figures danced around me, their forms contorted and nightmarish, but this time, something was different. Among the writhing shadows, I saw a familiar face, a face that should not have been there. It was my own reflection, twisted and contorted in a grotesque mockery of humanity. The realization struck me like a bolt of lightning. Polybius was not just a game, it was a gateway to something far darker, a portal to a realm beyond human comprehension. Part 4, the final confrontation. As the realization of Polybius's true nature washed over me, a surge of determination coursed through my veins. I would not allow this malevolent force to claim me, to drag me into the abyss. With every ounce of willpower I could muster, I tore my gaze away from the nightmarish tableau and focused on the screen before me. The colors and shapes seemed to blur and meld together, a maelstrom of chaos and malevolence. In a desperate bid for freedom, I wrenched the joystick and mashed the buttons, my movements fueled by sheer adrenaline. The figures on the screen contorted and writhed, their movements growing more frenetic with each passing moment. And then, it happened. With a deafening cacophony, the game seemed to shatter, fragments of code and light scattering like shards of glass. The screen went black. The once pulsating colors replaced by an empty void. I stumbled back, my breath ragged and heart-pounding. The arcade around me seemed to waver and distort, as if reality itself had been irrevocably altered, and then, it was over. I stood alone in the dimly lit arcade, Polybius nothing more than a darkened cabinet, its malevolence vanquished. The weight that had settled on my shoulders lifted, replaced by a profound sense of relief. As I turned to leave, I knew that I had faced something beyond mortal understanding, a force that defied explanation. Polybius was not just a game, it was a conduit to a realm of unfathomable darkness. To this day, I bear the scars of that encounter, a constant reminder of the malevolence that lurked within the digital realms. Polybius may have been defeated, but its legacy endures as a warning to those who dare to delve too deeply into the mysteries of the unknown, and so, I share this tale as a cautionary note, a testament to the unfathomable depths that lie hidden within the pixels and lines of code. Beware the allure of the unknown, for you may find yourself ensnared in a web of darkness from which there is no escape.